Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today it's finally the day to where I show you how to dye your lace frontals without actually staining the lace. And this is more so for if you are a fan of jet black hair, you know, the harder colors to come out of a lace, out of the lace, opposed to like something light. So that's like black, dark brown, browns, any of that. I'm going to show you guys how to achieve that without actually dyeing your lace. So this is the frontal, and this is Undibu raw Indian hair, raw Indian straight hair. I've already did an initial review on this hair, so if you guys are interested in the initial review about this frontal and the bundles that go along with it, I will put it in the description bar. But yes, as you can see, there is no dye on this lace, and this is already done. As you can see, it is black. It is not brown. You do not see any brown hues. I've already done it. I was successful. I want you guys to be successful as well, so make sure you guys pay attention to this video, and I will catch you guys at the end. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are. Okay, you all, so let's get started. As you can see, I already have my frontal pinned down to my canvas blockhead. It's actually a head that I got off Amazon. I really don't like it. I got the wrong dimension, so it's actually too big. So I normally use it for when I dye my frontals and etc. So what you see over the canvas head is actually a white t-shirt. It was the only way you guys would be able to see what it is that I'm actually doing. So let's get started with the products you'll need. I use Revlon Color Silk when I'm always dyeing hair jet black. Of course, you're gonna need a rat tail comb. You're also going to need hair clips to move any excess hair out the way while you're doing this. Latex gloves, of course, that's important. And you're also gonna need a pair of scissors. Okay, so we're getting our dye prepared so we can dye this thing. The bottle is a really good, it really helps in successfully being able to dye this hair just with the color placement. So using a box dye it's okay. You'll need it. It makes it easy. So I'm gonna show you guys how to separate the hair. Now I normally separate the hair by like a half an inch to an inch, just giving it enough room to where the dye can actually penetrate through the hair, but not too much to where it'll drip through the hair, but not too thin either. You see what I'm saying? I hope y'all get what I'm saying. This voice over thing is really hard. I really don't like it. Tutorials are really difficult for me, but this part right here, you'll actually be able to still see where I'm placing the dye, and I'm placing the dye like a half an inch to an inch away, but you really want to go like a half an inch. An inch is kind of too far. You'll have to end up applying more dye, as you're going to see in this clip. But we're going to actually use that rat tail comb, the teeth on the rat tail comb as a brush. But it's just a more sturdy brush to where you don't have to apply a lot of pressure. So that's why I like using a comb. The rat tail comb works best in this. So we're gonna actually use those combs. As you can see from the clip, I'm using that comb to my advantage. I'm pushing the dye and moving the dye around. And the reason why you do not want to place it too close to the root, because you don't want to end up staining your lace. So placing it farther away from the root actually helps. As you can see, I had to go in with more dye because I placed it too far back. But watch how, as I take that comb, and you see how I'm gently pushing and pulling the product away. I'm pushing it up, but I'm also pulling it back down. I'm only pushing it up close to the base of the frontal to saturate that hair. But you want to pull the excess dye away from the rest of the, away from the lace, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm parting it off again, and I got the bright idea to try to grab parchment paper. I don't know why I thought to grab some parchment paper, as you're going to see in this clip coming up, to put up underneath, trying to make it more foolproof, but it actually didn't work, and it actually would have probably ended up making it worse. I guess I was trying to do it like I was I don't think it would have made it work. I actually could have made it work with using pins and just pinning the paper up that'll hold it in place, but it didn't work out. It was too much. Just doing the technique that I'm actually showing on here is gonna work. So don't try to do like, I mean, you can do foils, you know, you can wrap foils up, which I really should have got foils, but as you can see, I'm just gonna do it without the whole paper or foil or anything, because this frontal, the good thing about this frontal is the hair, I don't know, it kind of had a liftage close to the root, so it didn't really weigh down even with me applying the dye. If that makes any sense, I hope you guys get what I'm saying. But as you can see, how I take the back how I take the back of the comb to actually pull and push away, push that dye away from the frontal. It really works and it really helps out. Make sure you also apply dye to the ends of the hairs. Make sure you do that as well. Just doing the base of the frontal is not going to ensure that it's going to give the bottom of the hair coverage, but I'm sure you guys know that and you're smart enough to catch on to that. But we're more so focusing on the base of the frontal, making sure we do not dye our lace. So that is the goal at hand. You all can see in this clip how I'm utilizing that comb as if it was a brush, and it really works. It really pushes and moves the product around. Make sure when you guys are doing this, you are pulling the hair out and away from the actual lace. Do not try to do it lying down on the other hair that's already been dyed or anything like that, because that's not going to really work in your favor. You're going to end up getting lace onto the dye onto the lace. So make sure you're pulling away, make sure you're working on each section, make sure you're not applying pressure to what's already been dyed. You know, just make sure you are following all the steps that I am sure that I'm including in this video, and I hope you guys are getting it just from the visual alone. So just keep watching, and I basically did this throughout the whole process of me dyeing the lace. I did do one side first and then the other side. So basically I stopped in the middle, and you will see that in this clip, and I began to work on the other side. I did not go from one side and continue to pile the hair on the same side, because what that would do, that will create weight, and we do not want weight, or we do not want our hair to possibly start to lay flatter to our closure to where it can cause bleeding of the dye to run through the lace, because that would not be good, and that would really stain the lace, and then hey, you would have messed up lace, and we don't want you to have messed up lace. We want your lace to be color free. So just keep on watching, and you will see as I begin to get further on. As you all can see, I'm at the top of the frontal right now, and as you can see how I'm pulling the hair up and away from the lace. So make sure you always are doing that. Make sure you're pulling the hair away from the base. That is what's going to save you and making sure you're not dyeing your lace. So I'm pulling it up and away, up and away, up and away, up and away. But I'm coating all the hair. As you can see, it looks wet. It's all coated. It looks wet. One more important thing I want to inform you guys on. Make sure you are not really trying to dye the front of it as of now. So if it's areas that may still be dry, don't worry about them. Just keep on going, because I'm going to show you how I actually fix that. As you can see, I'm on the other half. I'm going to finish this on up, and then I'm going to show you guys how I kind of fill in the front or the hairline of the frontal, so you guys can make sure you got all of that covered as well. So just keep on watching. Now that we have all of the hair saturated with the dye, we're going to make sure we also have our hairline saturated as well. So, you know, drizzling a little of the dye like an inch away from the actual lace of the hairline. We're using the same technique, making sure you're pulling all of the hair out and away and taking that comb. Telling you that comb gonna be our best friend when doing this. It is. You will see how easy it is with the comb to make sure you will not dye your lace. So that is all I'm doing. And be careful, please be careful when doing this. Because all I take is one little shake of the hand to do something, make a wrong move, and hey, you done messed up. You can also make sure you have a spray bottle on standby. So with water, so you kind of rinse it in case you know, accidentally slop some of the dye on the lathe. A spray bottle works. Fill with water, just take it and just spray it to kind of remove the dye from any area, you know, and it works out just as fine. Fortunately, I did not need this. I need a spray bottle while doing this. I actually took my time, even though it looked like I'm moving a little fast. This video is, however, somewhat speeded up because it literally took me like almost an hour to do this. I won't say quite an hour, but it took me almost an hour, and it took so long for me to do it because I'm filming, and I'm really not good at filming tutorials. But hey, we're at the end, and I'm going to show you guys. The frontal is completely wet. It's completely covered with the dye, as you can see. So I don't have to lie, but look at the back. No dye at all. So this, you know, this actually works. So just take what I'm telling you guys and what I'm showing you guys and apply it to your actual lace or frontal. No, I did not bleach my knots first. I dye first and then I bleach my knots. So yeah, it's permanent. You know, let it sit on there for like 45 minutes or whatever the case may be. So we're rinsing it out now, as you can see. And you do want to rinse out from the closure and down the hair shaft. Do not flip it over and try to rinse out the other way, because your lace can actually end up still being stained because the dye actually runs and it runs down. So keep it flipped over the entire time of even washing it or whatever you're doing. Do not wash your frontals in hot water. Make sure it's lukewarm. Make sure it's almost cold, not quite cold, because it fills the cuticle and it won't bleed as much. So that is all. I'm applying my conditioner, and okay, we are pretty much done with the whole process of dyeing this frontal. So I hope you guys understood this video and you enjoyed it, and you can actually use this and be successful at dyeing your frontals as well. So stay tuned for the commentary at the end. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I really took my time. You really have to take your time when you're doing this. Please do not try to rush. I did speed up some parts because in certain parts I was actually moving slower than it's actually showing. You really have to take your time. And in case you guys don't get the what I was doing with the comb, when you see me pushing it and steadily combing it, I would... Okay, I'm going to do a live demonstration. Well, it's not really live, but... Okay, you see how that part is hanging? So, from the video, you see me put the dye like right here, that far away from the actual lace. But see, what I did was I would take the tip of the comb and I would kind of pull product close to the lace. But this is an important step. After you do that, you do want to take the comb close by, flip it around into the hair, pull it up, slant it, and pull to drag a lot of the product down. And I didn't know if you guys would get what I was doing in the video, so that's why I felt as though it was important for me to put it at the end of this video so you guys could understand what it is I was doing. Because you need to pull that extra product away from the lace and away from the top of the hair. Because what can happen is you leave so much product at the top as you go further up, and the weight of the hair being wet and starts to apply to the bottom, and it'll end up soaking into the lace. So make sure you pull all product down after you coat the hairs. Make sure you pull it down with the back, using the back part of the comb. So you just flipping it and pulling it away and pulling the product down to the end of the hair shaft, so as far as you can possibly pull it. and then you know you go in and you add your other color. Yeah, you know your color at the end just to make sure everything is evenly toned out. So let me, you know, just give me some feedback. Also like the video if you enjoyed it and if you feel like it's helpful. So until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one.